This Alvarez Yairi is in the shop to have one of my Lil Jimmy Transducer pickup systems put in it. But before we do that, we have to remove the bridge. The bridge has started to lift, and it's pulled up from the top all the way into the bridge pins. So it's in danger of completely coming off, and the guitar is losing a lot of tone. The bridge is something of an external brace, and while only half of it's attached, it's really not doing its job to help the guitar drive the sound. So the bridge is going to be removed, reshaped, and then reattached, and then we'll put the pickup system on. So what I'm going to do now is show you how this is done. Here's the setup for removing the bridge from this Alvarez Yairi. First of all, I've masked off the top to protect the finish, because I'm going to be using a spatula to get underneath the bridge as the glue softens. These two silver things are rare earth magnets that are attached to two rare earth magnets that are inside the guitar on the bridge plate, holding the heating blanket in place. This is a silicone heating blanket that is sized for a bridge, as you can see. These are the two power leads coming off the blanket going to the digital controller, and this black wire is the temperature sensor that tells the digital controller how hot the blanket is. Now, it can be very hard to tell nowadays what kind of glue is used in the process of gluing a bridge on. So I always start lower, start at about 130 degrees, and see if that's enough to start separating the bridge. And if it's not, I crank it up after 15-20 minutes, and now we're up to about 160 degrees. So I suspect this bridge was put on with a polyurethane glue. It requires a much higher temperature to separate. Yes, I'm taking a very thin artist spatula, and I am slowly working it under the bridge. I'm not using a lot. I work around the edge like this, and I will go around the entire bridge in this fashion, so that I'm always working from the outside of the bridge in. So the goal is to get this off without having any or minimal tear out from the top underneath. Then the bridge is separated enough. By the way, I had to crank the temperature up almost to 170 before I got it to separate and start coming loose a little easier. So what you're looking at here is I've gotten one spatula all the way underneath from both sides, and I'm just going to work it down like this. Now, I'm not using a lot of force, but you can tell that the glue has softened enough. Now the spatula, each side is riding on the tape, which means that I won't have to worry about having to do any refinish touch-up. This other spatula is just in place here as a separator to keep the, the glue is soft now, so I don't want it to rebond itself. So I'm putting this spatula in to keep it lifted. And we just take our time working our way down. Now when I get to the other end, I will reverse the process so that I'll be coming from the base side into the bridge, so I don't get any tear out down there. All right, so we got the bridge off with really next to no tear out. An unusual a bit of just like a glue thickness worth of wood from the bottom of the bridge. So the bridge has been cleaned off and ready to be glued back on. Here's a tip when you're using masking tape on any kind of a gluing surface. You always want to pull the tape off towards the edge of the finish so that you minimize the risk of tearing finish away. So always pull in towards this. That way when you end up with the tape coming off, it comes off nice. So the bridge has been glued back in place. You can see the two nylon pins that are used to position the bridge so it doesn't shift during glue up, and underneath there is a piece of plexiglass, a very thick piece of plexiglass, used as a caul to support the center clamp, and then these two outside clamps with the high density rubber underneath puts uniform pressure along the entire bridge to glue it back into place. So let this dry overnight, then we'll put the pickup system in and this goes
sounds amazing. I'm just glad to have the bridge back. I think the intonation is back where it should be. So yeah, I'm happy. Very happy.
Good. Well, it was a pleasure working on the guitar for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks for the picking, man. Why don't you, I'm going to like blend some of this stuff in and out, so why don't you play us out with something? And is this going to be something you learned, or is this something you composed?
This is all stuff I wrote.
All right, so Justin's he's got his guitar back, and he's gonna play us out with one of his compositions. What's it called?
Untitled.
Okay, this is called Untitled. So thanks for watching, folks, and as always, keep on picking.